I've always been of the understanding that the Jehovah's Witnesses were against governments. But the more I study this organisation, the more I see that they use the police, and this is what's conflicting with me, they use the police to help them not to have to answer Watchtower or Bible questions. Now, how does that make sense? Can somebody that's in this organisation help me to understand how, oh goodness, how these people can use the authorities which are supplied by the government to help them not to do the job that they're supposed to do, and that is to answer biblical questions and questions related to Jesus, questions related to the Bible, questions related to their Watchtower magazines. Why are they afraid to answer these questions? What's the big problem? What's the big secret? Why? Are the Jehovah's Witnesses really that scared of what's in the Bible, or that scared of what's in, like, the truth behind their own publications? I really need help with this, because the more I watch these Watchtower cart ministry people, the more dangerous I believe they are to the communities. I'm not sure why governments are allowing them into our communities. I'm just not sure why, as the yachts are coming in from the Wednesday night yacht races. It's cloudy afternoon here, calm, but what a beautiful place to live in, the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. I've got people that stand over there, the Jehovah's Witnesses with their carts, on this beautiful waterfront and talk about Armageddon. I don't think they even know how Armageddon's going to work. It's a Middle Eastern confrontation. I could be sitting here while Armageddon's going on, filming this, and not be affected at all. I'm sure that Armageddon's going to ripple, the effects of it will ripple throughout the world as the nations decide that the ones that decide that they want to help Israel will be confronted by the ones that want to end Israel. And I'd say Australia, along with America, will be allies of the nation of Israel. And the countries that decide not to be will confront the ones that do want to ally themselves with Israel. Now, one thing that I'm sure is evident through the Jehovah's Witnessism and the police before Jehovah Worldwide cart video series that I'm doing in conjunction with the extra Jehovah's Witness community, or just the Christian community that are allowing me to share their videos and some commentary, is that they just don't want to answer biblical questions. We used to evangelize, and we'd be out there for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours just answering questions, and sometimes getting struck and hit for trying to share Jesus or just being there, you know. These Jehovah's Witness people at the carts, they're just turning away and walking off. If a Christian person in a government organisation, like an unbiased, non-judgmental Christian parliamentarian, really got wind of this behaviour, I don't believe they'd be allowed on the streets. I don't believe they'd be allowed in the community, because they're not out there sharing the good news of the gospel in its true sense. They're out there sharing the propaganda of an organisation that's nothing less than a cult. And it's proving that by its inability and or willingness to share the good news of the gospel, even out of their own literature. I'm bewildered, I'm amazed, I'm angry, I'm struggling to understand how the Watchtower and Tracton Bible Society has got these people to where they are, how they've managed to navigate these people away from the simple truths of Christianity and the Bible and enabled them to believe these silly, ridiculous lies. Now we've got an ambulance or something coming along here now. The hospital's just up behind me. I hope that's not a Jehovah's Witness and they need a blood transfusion. That's all I can say as they go away on their journey to the hospital. Is it coming to a head, viewers? Is this thing coming to a head where it's so plain now to see that this organisation's unhealthy, that it's just like a game? I don't think it's a Christian organisation. Okay, if they just put down their arms and said, right, we're not really a Christian organisation, we're more of a real estate organisation now. We've used Christianity to get ourselves where we are. But we're going to close down the fact that we're not a charity, and we're going to just be the organisation that we are, which is real estate related. They haven't managed their Christianity very well at all. It's full of lies and deceptions and doctrines pulled out of the Old Testament that shouldn't even be mixed within it. It's only going to take, in Russia, I don't think many people realise this, it was the Catholic, or the Russian Orthodox Church that brought the concerns of this religious cult, the Jehovah's Witnesses, to the mind of the government. And when the government got wind of how wicked and messed up the Jehovah's Witness and Watchtower and Bible Tract Society is within its doctrines, in comparison to the mainline normality of Christianity or orthodoxy within itself, nothing's perfect, but the Jehovah's Witnesses are in a dimension of their own. That's when they investigated the doctrines and the beliefs of the organisation, and very swiftly come to the conclusion that it's dangerous to the public. Now, if the Watchtower people at these carts are ringing the police on people that are trying to get simple answers, or even share some truths with the people at the carts, and they're ringing the police, my opinion is they're the nuisance. Why are they out there? If they're not doing their job, which is to preach the gospel, why are they out there? Go away. If you can't do what you're supposed to do in a 101 sense, and that's just share the truths of the Bible, not the Watchtower and Tract Society stuff, the truths of the Bible. If you can't do that, don't be out there. If you're a threat to the public, spiritually, which they are, don't be out there. Don't go. Stay home. Keep your ideas and ideologies to yourself as the yachts are coming in from the Wednesday night yacht races here at Gosford, New South Wales, Australia. One of the most beautiful places you'll find on earth. And as I mentioned earlier, if Armageddon was happening in the Middle East, and I repeat, in the Middle East is where Armageddon is going to take place, I could be sitting here filming this while Armageddon's going on. And the silly Watchtower people think it's going to, Armageddon's going to spread itself primarily across the world. No, generally it will, but not primarily. Primarily, Armageddon's taking place in the Valley of Megiddo in the Middle East, or somewhere over there. The ripple effects, I repeat, of that will be the nations that will defend Israel will come up against the nations that refuse to defend Israel and oppose it, and the ripple effects of that may spill over into our countries. But other than that, Armageddon's a battle that's going to take place in the Middle East to destroy the nation of Israel. And you've got millions of people in the Jehovah's Witness organisation thinking that it's going to be centralized around them. That's not healthy, is it? That's one of the most manipulative forms of indoctrination and control that you could place on a person. And they've done it to millions, and this is part of the reason why Russia has banned them. It's part of the reason why the Netherlands is onto this organisation now. Don't you worry, behind the scenes, the Australian government's still onto this organisation. They haven't stepped up to the redress after the sexual abuse findings during the Australian Royal Commission. I've never met, I have to say, as a professional theologist, and I evangelised for over 15 years. And as I said, answering questions, sometimes up to 10 hours all night. I'd come home through the door, at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I'm trying to help people understand the Bible and getting punched and kicked to those that didn't want to, which was all part of it, and we never rang the police. Why don't these people want to do their job, which is to share the Bible with those that don't know it or do know it and just need some answers? What's wrong with giving an honest answer? One of the things that's coming to light now, sadly for the Jehovah's Witness, jw.org, is their question and answer section's got mistruths in it. There are some XJW videos out there that reveal this. The Jehovah's Witness Watchtower and Bible Tract Society, jw.org, is being exposed at such a speed and such a rate across the world right now that you would have to be an idiot to not realise, deliberately wanting to be a fool, to not realise that the organisation is a cult. You'd have to be a fool. Now, I don't care if that offends somebody or not. There's people dying, there's people being maimed, there's people being shunned, there's people giving their life to this organisation that, quite frankly, couldn't care less at the end of it. If you don't do what the organisation wants, you get shunned. You get pushed aside. Now, I have to be honest and say that's not uncommon in other religions, because the base theology behind that is you have to put Jehovah first. But the New Testament teaches us, and we all know, that you should put people first. Jehovah doesn't need us to put him first. He doesn't need anybody. He loves us because he wants to, even before we loved him. Romans chapter 5 and other places as well. You're looking at the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia, one of the most beautiful places on the earth, Gosford waterfront. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is there's a fellow going to go fishing there, look. And might I say, these are shark-filled waters. I kite surf out here, which is very dangerous and not recommended, just by way of informing you. Let's just watch this guy go out. He's taken his life in his own hands. There's no crocodiles in this water, but there are sharks, bull sharks. And the problem with bull sharks is, once they start to attack, they don't stop. They don't come in for one hit. They just keep coming and coming until nothing is left. So I don't think it's unfair to say that the Jehovah's Witness and Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has been completely exposed for what it is. It's a clever, cunning and conniving organisation, not a Christian organisation, a business that has used Christianity as a means to an end. Now, I don't think it deliberately originated that way or was meant to do that, but that's how cults end up. That's how cults end up. This guy's going out for a fish. He'll get some fish tonight. There's plenty of fish out there. I tell you, there are plenty of fish. Now, I'm not seeing any... Oh, hang on. Hi from Plymouth. John Ricardo. Good day, John. Hi from Plymouth. I put on a video of a gentleman named Robert from the Christian Comedy channel today, and he does a lot of stuff in Plymouth. You're watching Australia Live, New South Wales, Australia, one of the most beautiful countries and places in the world. There's a gentleman on dusk paddling to go fishing over near the bridge there, where there's plenty of jewfish, mullet, brim and flathead and other species. It's not a good time to be paddling out there in a kayak, dusk. As I said, the sharks are present, all the bait fish are in for the end of the run of the year, and the predators do follow them in. So hello, John from Plymouth, I do hope you're well. But again, the topic tonight is, why do the Jehovah's Witnesses depend on the police instead of just answering simple Bible questions and doing their job? Why do they walk away from the cart with the carts and all that? Why are they so weak in their theology? It really makes me angry. It really, really does. They're so spiteful that it's like they think they've got the right to be out here. Sorry, I can't watch it. Have to go to work. Go to work, mate, and make a quid. And good luck to you. All the best. Have a great night. Prophetic illustration on the sharks. Oh, the sharks. Look, honestly, isn't the Watchtower a pack of sharks? My gosh. Hey there, brother from, wow, was that California or Canada? Good gosh. I've got kiteboarding friends in Canada. And I have a kite from Canada, an ocean rodeo. But let's not get off track as the yachts are coming in. You can see on the top of their masts the green lights. Hey there, brother from Oakland, California. My goodness me, we watch California on telly over here. Australia's only 200 years old to the Western people, much older to the Aboriginals. Such a young country. And you hear things about America and California and all that, and you think, wow, what's it like over there? Oh, and it's such the USA has been very kind to Australia, and they're an ally. And let me just say, I don't think the Jehovah's Witnesses are an ally to Christianity. I think they've made a mockery of it in its name. I don't think they practice Christianity because they don't put Christ in his right place, do they? Christ is the Messiah of the Jews, and we've been grafted in as a result of that. And getting back to what I said, these ones that think you need to put Jehovah first have lost the plot, because when you put Jehovah first, that gives you an excuse. Where's our fisherman friend? There he is. That gives you the excuse then to neglect people. But Jesus was too clever to say you have to put Jehovah first. He was one step ahead of us. He said, no. The new commandment is to love one another as yourself. And that's hard as well, isn't it? And when we admit that it's hard to do that, then we realise why Jesus died on the cross for us. We're free then from our own efforts and our own works, aren't we? But we don't want to be that way. We always have to put in our little bit. Oh, we have to put in our effort. We have to do our bit to prove that we believe. You don't have to prove or do anything. You say, how can you say that, Dr. Morrison? Easily. He's the author and the finisher of our faith. Get out and live. Get out and live. So I do appreciate anybody that's watched this. I do think that the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society is in deep, deep trouble in terms of being exposed worldwide. The behaviour of its members is appalling, absolutely appalling, and as far as I'm concerned, pathetic, and can be easily interpreted to be a nuisance and cultish. And oh my God, it's so frustrating, because the Bible, if it's taught properly, is so easy to understand.